I guess it's time to get rid of my Ender 3. My name's Andy, I am the Code Rebel, and today, I don't know whether it's a sad or a happy day. I guess it's retirement day finally for my Ender 3 Pro. Going back to the beginning, I had the original Ender 3 and I used it a lot. And yeah, we did a lot of stuff, and I guess why they don't last forever is because I kind of speed them up and, push them a bit, and I do lots of upgrades and mods. And I guess you had to with the Enders. That was just the era of 3D printing that they've kind of come from. Yeah, I have an exceptional collection. I've binned most of them, of these calibration cubes. There's a ton of them hanging around. More than I would ever know what to do with. And that's partly due to the Ender 3 needing calibrating all the time and keeping on top of. And that's partly why I'm getting rid of it, I guess, because it's the maintenance and the ongoing overheads of keeping one running now. When 3D printing, I guess, was more in its infancy, I think it's still in its infancy, but when it was, a much earlier technology, which I guess on the life scale of 3D printing, we're going back to the Dark Ages, or before, a lot before. It's more like the Stone Age. It's a Stone Age printer. That's what it is. It was a good early model 3D printer, and I guess times have changed and times have moved on, but we have got some cool things, and mainly why I'm doing it with the DreamStack project and more electronics things is I want to make these electronics cases. I want to sell them, not at a huge profit. That's not the aim. I want to sell them for people that don't have a 3D printer, so you don't have to get invested and get into it and get going. So I'm just going to make a few of them, and maybe I will do some finished products as I get time, and knock out a few DreamStacks and bits and pieces and offer them for sale. Or do them made to order. That's the beauty of 3D printing. You don't need to keep stock. You can make to order. But my problem with the Ender 3 at the moment is reliability, and I think it's just got to that point and that age where I'm spending more time maintaining it and leveling the bed than I am printing stuff. And we have had some good results. We've got the Iron Man helmet, which is kind of cool. I've got the bits to finish it. I just kind of 3D printed it and didn't get on with it. But I might come back to this and finish it off at some point. And the faceplate is not attached on this one. It does come off, so it's kind of cool. And I'd like to do maybe a voice changer, maybe automation. I'm not going to take up cosplaying. I just like making these things. And the one that has been, actually, I say that, this is the one that, it has been used in anger. It's had lightsaber battles and stuff, is the Kylo Ren helmet mask. This was done on the Ender 3, and it's painted with chrome paint and matte black, and it maybe does need a bit of more work and stuff. I kind of did it in a bit of a hurry, so maybe we'll do a new replace. No, I'm not going to do a new replacement. I'm not going to do it. I'm lying. Actually, I'm probably not. I might do it. We'll see how I kind of get round to doing stuff and thinking about things. But yeah, the main reason is I think the Ender 3 is great. Don't get me wrong. For anyone still using them, hats off to you, respect. I think I've just got sick of it. And I've got sick of redoing everything. Like, so many failed prints. I've had so many that have gone wrong. You're talking like, I'll get 4 or 5 failed prints every time I go to print before I can get one that starts working. And then I go out and I come back 5 hours later and it's failed and it's made a spaghetti monster. And if you've got one, you probably know. And it's just chasing your tail around all the time to figure out these problems. And you get one sorted and another one starts. And there's so many features now that's missing from it. I guess it was fine. Like the cameras. I remember using the Raspberry Pi and Pi Print. Was it Pi Print? Something like that. And putting the Pi cam on it and making a little housing to put that up on the, is it the Z axis? It was on the kind of like gantry. And the problem with it, long story short, was the camera introduced a wobble into that axis and it would come out in your prints. So you got a video of a wobbly print. I felt like it did that. I don't know why. I had that problem, couldn't figure it out. Took the camera off and then it stopped doing it. And yeah, things like that, I think it just wasn't engineered for. I maybe should have kept up more. Maybe should have put linear rails on. I maybe should have, put BL Touch and filament runout sensors and stuff like that on. And it would have been good. And I did have the big Tree Tech upgrade on mine on the Pro. I've put silent stepper drivers in. I've put bigger fans in to run slower and quieter with more cooling. I've done all sorts on it. And the usual guards over all the holes, because you got an Ender 3 and you spent a week printing off new parts for it and upgrades, and that was just the done thing. And I wonder now whether you were better leaving it stock and carry on going, apart from a glass bed, because those plastic beds on them were shit. Absolutely shit. So yeah, I wonder what you were best off doing. Does anyone still run a stock one? Does anyone have a modified one that's super reliable, maybe even super fast? But my problem now is new 3D printers, they come for less money with all the parts that you'd want to add to the Ender 3 series or the Ender 3 Pro. They've got them all on a standard. So you've got the linear rails, you've got a camera engineered into it. They've got like anti-wobbling and shaking on the desk. They level themselves. They measure the nozzle pressure, so it can compensate for your nozzle starting to block and go by slowing itself down and keeping the pressure inside the nozzle, which is fantastic. They do all sorts, and it's better. It's just better. You can live view the camera when you're out for those 5 hours, and if it's failed, you can just stop it so it doesn't waste another ton of filament. And yeah, these are the things that I'm missing. And in all honesty, I think the problem now is that I don't trust the Ender 3 to do stuff all the time. I kind of expect failure from it. And this is why I'm not selling the DreamStack cases, because I'd like to offer them. I feel like for people that don't do 3D printing but want to follow my projects and do some of the electronics, it'd be good if you could just click and buy one and I'll ship it anywhere in the world, and I'm not going to make them super expensive. I'm happy if someone in the US wants to do some 3D printing and provide my cases over there, go for it. I'm happy enough for you to do that. Just every so many sales, when you make a ton of money out of it, buy me a coffee once in a while. That would be nice. But yeah, it's kind of like it's a bittersweet thing. I've got a new 3D printer coming and it's been delivered today, and I'm going to do a video about it and why I chose that one. But this one is more about why I'm retiring the Ender 3. And I think we've maybe gone on 6 or 7 years together and we've done a lot of good things. I don't regret buying it. I don't regret going through the learning curve of an Ender 3. And I think that for anybody getting into 3D printing now, you know, it's not a bad option, especially if you can get one cheap secondhand and you can figure out all the little faults and problems with it and get it working nicely. But mine, I think we've just come to the end of the road, and it's a case of, do I put linear rails on? Do I put BL Touch on? Do I do all this? Do I put the camera on? Do I update the software to this? Do I do all these things, which is going to cost me a fortune? Or do I just buy a newer, more up-to-date printer that's going to always be better, and it's less money? It's less of an investment. And I do quite a bit of 3D printing. I use it quite a lot to repair stuff, to make broken parts again, to do all sorts. It does a lot for me, I guess, my 3D printer. And yeah, the cost of these entry-level ones, as with anything, I don't like the super high-end. I like to go in at the bottom and make do. I would like a super high-end one. I just can't really justify a few £1,000s for something massive. It's going to take up a ton of space. And although the helmets are cool, like you can't deny this is cool. If you're watching this channel, I'm guessing you're the kind of person that would love one of these on your shelf. These are fantastic, and for what it costs, not a lot. Maybe, I don't know how much filament's in it. I don't think it's half a roll, so you're probably looking at £5 of filament. It cost me more in filler and paint, especially the chrome paint. That was pricey. But yeah, these are awesome. And to be able to do stuff like that, but to be able to do things like this more accurately and more reliably is way better. Because it might be £5 in filament, but it might be another £5 in filament from failed prints. So yeah, this is why I'm upgrading. It's the predicament, and I think the Ender 3 is great, but I think it's come to the end of life. And all the things I've listed off there, are why I'm not getting rid of it. I'm going to keep it, and if I need to, I'll kind of reinstate it and use it. I might give it away to somebody who wants to learn 3D printing, as I've done recently with my original Ender, to make space for the new one coming. But then maybe it is just going to go to a new home for somebody that doesn't have a 3D printer, wants to learn and wants to do that. And I think that's what they're great for now. If you want to run a print farm and you want to run a business and you want reliable prints, not so much now, especially not on mine, now that I've sped it up, one part's out, and it needs a good overhaul and a good tune-up, and that's what it needs. It just needs a ton of work and care, and the parts are going to cost more. More than a new upgrade one, especially if you're upgrading and putting linear rails, cameras, bits and pieces, more software updates, motor updates. And you're ultimately doing it on a printer that's got worn parts, and when you're looking at super accuracy, like, you're going to the 100th of a millimeter kind of accuracy. Well, worn parts aren't good, are they? That's ultimately it. You need fresh parts for the metal grinding and wearing out. Yeah, that's my whole kind of take on it. I'd really like to know in comments, if there is anybody still using an Ender 3, what you've done to it and how reliable it is now, because I'm wondering whether a load of these upgrades have caused more problems in the long run. Maybe they haven't, maybe it's just me, but yeah, it'd be interesting to hear from you. So drop me a comment, and yeah, the next video will be unveiling the new toy and why I chose it. So stay tuned, and we're gonna go on with this, and we're gonna do more and better and more ambitious little cases and enclosures for all the projects I'm doing. And yeah, I guess it's a new, more reliable tool moving forward. And I guess the ultimate takeaway is that a better tool won't make you a better craftsman, but unreliable tools can hold you back. And that's ultimately it. These are just tools. They're fantastic, and I guess they are quite sophisticated compared to, a hammer. But it is at the end of the day just a tool. And yeah, don't kind of get into 3D printing thinking you can make a ton of things and become a millionaire. But if you want to make something and you can 3D print it, that's fantastic. You should definitely get into doing it. You should maybe not get the newest generation for starters. It depends what you want. Do you want no headache printing, or do you want to learn 3D printing? And I guess that's the thing. I think the Creality Ender 3 will teach you a lot more about 3D printing and how to keep them running, how they're reliable, how to get all the faults out of them, and get them working as you want. Where the newer ones, they're more reliable, but you may be missing a fundamental element. And I guess if you have that layer of understanding when a problem does occur, you'll have more of an idea from the symptoms what the problem is and how to go back and fix it. And it kind of boils up to a load of other things I've done on why you shouldn't just code with AI, and you should actually know what the code's doing, learn it. It's the same with 3D printing. I guess that's why people don't know how to service their own cars now, because not that long ago when I grew up, it was commonplace to see cars broken down at the side of the road. People service them themselves. Why would you take it to a garage and pay for someone to service or do an oil change? You just let the oil out and poured more in, and you still do. But now you have to take it to a garage for them to do that, and nobody knows what they're doing, and nobody knows how to fix anything. This is the problem with modern cars and modern technology, that it's not meant to be fixed. It's not easy to fix. And I've gone off on a bit of a rant there, but I'm going to cut this video short now. I just can't help myself. Yeah, give us a like, give us a subscribe if you've made it this far. Check out my next video of what's coming. I guess this will be my first ever unboxing video of something. Not just on this channel, but any channel, because I don't do unboxing videos. I also didn't do reaction videos, and I've done them here. So yeah, just talking shit now. I'm going to leave you. Thanks for watching if you've made it this far. I bet not many of you have. And I will see you later with my unveiling and my introduction to my new tool. See you next time.